Welcome on back to Skippers. Today we are going to do the weekend recap, things that happen in fantasy baseball that you need to know about. Thank you to Sorare MLB for sponsoring the video. Do not forget to subscribe, join the Discord. Let's get into some of the players. First guy I want to talk about is Ketel Marte of the Diamondbacks. After a disastrous 2022, Ketel Marte's numbers have finally gone back to his career averages. This weekend, in his 3 games he played against the Padres, he racked up 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 runs batted in, and 2 extra base hits. The Diamondbacks offense has surprised to start the season, and you can grab a piece that hits second in the lineup that is only 65% rostered. Over the last 2 weeks of the season, Marte has a .311 average with 10 runs and an OPS of .865. Marte's weighted runs created plus of 113 is higher than his career average. He's once again in the top 5% of the league in max exit velocity, and his average exit velocity of 91 miles an hour is 2 miles per hour better than his career average. Marte had a really tough time barreling baseballs last season, with only 24 barrels on 396 batted ball events. This season, he has a barrel rate at 10% compared to 6% last year. He's a bottom of the league walk guy to start the season, but his strikeout rate is the best it's ever been. He fit the mold pretty well of players to bounce back this offseason that were kind of older, you've kind of forgotten about. He was a pretty late pick in the draft, and it's nice to see him succeed after I was so high on him for the 2022 season, and that did not work out well for anyone. I'm back in on Ketel Marte, especially where they have him hitting in the lineup. The guys behind him, the guys in front of him make for this great Diamondbacks offense, so I'm in on Ketel Marte. If you have him and if he's on your wire, I think it's a guy you should be picking up. Second player I want to talk about is Kyle Gibson, and Kyle Gibson is back for his yearly check-in. Gibson diced up the Tigers on Saturday, but I should probably be more interested in targeting pitchers against the Tigers to stream instead of giving Kyle Gibson his flowers for his most recent performance. The right-hander went 6 1/3, only giving up 2 hits, one of which was a home run, and he struck out 11 Tigers in the process with a ground ball rate of 60%. I think the main thing from this weekend in that series is going to be Eduardo Rodriguez, but I will talk about him for the must-add section later in the week, and a guy that I was pretty high on to bounce back in general. In April, Kyle Gibson is 3-0 with a 2.88 ERA, and he has 4 home runs given up to his only 8 earned runs. Kyle Gibson has been barreled at a decent rate, he's given up hard contact, and really isn't striking too many hitters out. I don't think you should take the cheese here on Kyle Gibson, and if you're in a shallow league, this certainly isn't a guy to add. His expected ERA is almost a 1.5 higher, and without being 4-0, record-wise, there would be no talks of people picking up Kyle Gibson. Today's video is brought to you by Sorare MLB. On Sorare MLB, you can build a fantasy baseball dynasty and win amazing rewards with Sorare's revolutionary fantasy MLB game. This game transforms baseball fans into general managers. Visit the marketplace to buy, sell, and trade digital player cards to boost your team and progress to advanced competitions with once-in-a-lifetime prizes like merch, game tickets, and VIP packages. Sorare is a free-to-play daily fantasy game where you score points based on the real-life performance of the players in your lineup. When you first sign up for Sorare MLB, you'll get to draft 10 common cards to begin your collection. You'll need to draft 3 starters, a relief pitcher, 2 corner infielders, 2 middle infielders, and 2 outfielders. You're able to enter into modified points league-based tournaments for each game week, where you're able to win prizes determined by how many points your roster scores. Sorare MLB uses a bi-weekly tournament schedule with each game week spanning a 3 to 4 day cycle. At the end of the game week, if your team performed well enough in your tournaments, you'll earn rewards in the form of new Sorare MLB cards to add to your collection and strengthen your team for the next tournaments. Make sure you click the link in our bio to start playing Sorare MLB today. Third player I want to talk about from the weekend is Justin Turner of the Red Sox. Justin Turner has been a big-time on-base machine for the last 7 years, and the start of this year is so much similar. Over the weekend against the Brewers, he had 5 hits in his 10 at-bats, 2 extra base hits, including a solo home run. Justin Turner, once again, is in the 95th percentile in strikeout rate, 89th percentile in chase rate, and 86th percentile in whiff rate. Over the last 2 weeks, Justin Turner is hitting .333 with a .943 OPS. He's been productive early in this season, slashing .286, .390, .417 with those 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in, 13 runs, and again, he has more walks than strikeouts in his over 100 plate appearances. I'm surprised where they've slotted him in the 2 or 3 hole in this lineup, and there's been pretty much no change to his profile, so you should expect some decent production from the old man for the rest of the season. Finally, I just want to talk about one of the most underrated players in all of baseball who has helped lead the Pittsburgh Pirates to the best record in the National League. Jack Suwinski over the weekend, he had 3 hits, he had 3 runs batted in, and 2 stolen bases. Suwinski is absolutely the real deal. To start 2023, slashing .255, .383, .638 with 5 home runs, an OPS plus of 177, an expected WOBA of 451. His walk rate is 18.3%, which is off the charts, but he still is striking out at a decent rate at 28.3%. He's in the top 4% of the league in average exit velocity at 95.2 miles an hour, barreling baseballs at a 25% rate, and his hard hit rate is in the top 7% of the league. He absolutely crushes right-handed pitching as well. He is slugging .750 against right-handers this season, which is second best in all of baseball. He's in the 99th percentile for expected weighted on-base average, expected slug, expected damage, and chase rate. This is a guy easily available on wires. I think I saw that he was 16% available. I think if you need some help in the outfield, if you're pretty injured to start the season, I think Suwinski can be a solid option. You check his Baseball Savant page, and it is lit up in all red. Those are the players I liked from this weekend. Obviously, Suwinski didn't have a great thing, but I just felt like I needed to talk about him in general. Thank you Sorare MLB for sponsoring the video. I forgot to join the Discord, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow.